the question, in my view, there will be biotech before AI and there'll be biotech after AI. So I would say, one thing I would suggest is that in thinking about an ecosystem, it's kind of ironic, and what I told them just impulsively is that in 2025, 24 then, I wouldn't think of it, like I said before, to replicate. And the analogy I gave is it's a little bit like having a garden. If you have a garden with grass and flowers, which is what the startup kind of ecosystem mentality that has existed in other places, Singapore, London, Israel, different places have had this, we'll start a lot of companies and then they'll all grow. The reality is in the life science space, large companies have not come out of those small companies, with very few exceptions, in the US, in San Francisco, a little bit LA, and in Boston. So what I told them by analogy is, should you build your garden by having the grass and the flowers, but also a tree? And do you think about planting a tree, which is a different life form altogether, but it can organize the ecosystem very differently based on need, right? As opposed to, so the analogy I'll also give, or the direction I'd give is, you can either build things in the present and accept the future that comes from it, or you can build things in the present to achieve the future that you're planning. And here, because of the Vision 2030 and the 2040 biotech hub kind of aspirations, so I would say that what is the catalyst in between all this is AI. In the 38 years I've been involved in starting companies in biotech, the last 6, 7 years, and in the kind of introduction of generative AI and all things AI into the scientific process, let alone clinical development, is a complete step change, game changer. And so the question, in my view, there will be biotech before AI and there'll be biotech after AI. And so the ecosystem you want to build is not an ecosystem for biotech before AI, where it's very artisanal, people stare at molecules for years at a time to come up with some improvements, to all of that is going to be completely overwhelmed by when you can use machine intelligence. And so I would say, accept machine intelligence as the new standard, build on top of that, and somewhat bet on the fact that that is a completely different type of, that's what I would suggest.